and welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. And today we're going to talk about my tattoos. I have five different tattoos, and what I'm going to do is briefly talk about each one of them and the significance of why I've got them. The very first one I got is on my shoulder here on my left upper, right there. It's a yin and yang on fire, and the story behind that one isn't really too grand. It symbolizes me, or I should say it symbolized me at the time that I got it. When I went into the Army, I went through basic training, AIT, jump school, and to my regular unit with 8 of us went that far together. We went completely from basic training to AIT. From AIT we went to jump school. From jump school we went to Fort Bragg in the same unit. And there was 8 of us in our basic training class that stayed together the whole time. Out of those 8, I think, well, we all went. We all kind of hung out for a short period of time. We hung out together, and then eventually we kind of separated. But all 8 of us went, and I can't honestly remember how many of us got tattoos. There was probably 4 or 5 of us at least. Ended up deciding we were going to get tattoos. And so my very first tattoo I got in 1993 maybe? Yeah, 1993. When I went in, once I got to Fort Bragg, we all went to a tattoo parlor, and I was still very heavily into martial arts at the time, and the yin and yang was like very, very special to me, and the fire around it just really seemed to fit me well. So that represents me. So that was my first tattoo. My second tattoo was alright, I can't talk about the second one, but you can see it. Way too emotional, so I have to skip that one. My third tattoo my third tattoo was for my wife and I, and it's right here on my left forearm. And we both have the same tattoo, and it's a rose with an infinity sign on it, and down at the bottom the vines on mine form an M for her initial, and on hers that same area forms an R for her. But you can see it closer on the picture that I show. But this is my third tattoo. Now my fourth tattoo is on my right back. And that's my family crest. And again, represents my entire family. So for a quick side note, a little bit more in depth on this tattoo, the crest, my family crest over here on my right side. If you look at it compared to the others, you can tell that it was not professionally done. I had a family member that did tattoos, did that one for me, and we went over to his house and he did the tattoo for me. Now, while we were over there getting the tattoo done, Michael and Jaden, my two sons, were over there, and Michael was 12, 13 years old maybe, and he was sitting there just amazed at this guy doing the tattoo on me, and he asked if he could do some of my tattoo, and I told him sure. You know, I would be fantastically honored if my son were... Do what? Okay. So I told him that I would be very honored if he would do part of my tattoo. So he asked me, he said, "Are you sure it's okay?" And I said, "Yeah, let him do it." So Michael actually did part of my tattoo, and you can see what he did, because he tore me up. It was rough. But if you look closely on my family crest, you can see part of the yellow is really kind of darker, and it's bruised. It looks like a permanent bruise. That's the part he did, and the guy that did my tattoo wanted to know if he wanted me to if I wanted him to fix it. And I said, "Fix it?" I said, "There's nothing wrong with it." I said, "Michael did that." I said, "There's no way I want that altered." So yeah, that part my son Michael did when he was just barely a teenager. He loved it. He thought it was the greatest thing ever to tattoo me. But if you look at it closely, you can see that dark yellow spot that looks like a bruise, and that's what Michael did that part when he was a very young teenager. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that in, and let's continue on. This one is here on my right side, and that one is my first grandbaby Seth. That's his feet prints. As you can, there you go. See this right there's, and that's the prints from when he was born. You know how they do the little roller prints of their feet. I had his done. So those are the 5 tattoos that I have, and the reasoning behind them. Represents myself, my sister, my wife and I, my entire family, and my grandchildren. But this is my grandson. Now, I have 2 more. I have 2 more that I want to get, and of course the next one I want to get is Spencer's feet print, which is my second grandchild. I want to get his feet print done too, and I also want to get my unit patch from when I was in the military. I want to get it, and I'm probably going to put it right here is where I'm going to put my unit patch. And Spencer's is either going to be on my right side or my left side. I'm not quite sure, wherever I can find some space for it. And so those are my 5 tattoos, and they're all very, very special to me, and they all represent family in some way, which to me is the most important and really only important thing in my life, and always has been, obviously. You know, seeing the tattoos over the years that I have gotten. So thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. Enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.